stupid things I do to keep my continuous running streak going. So this is week 2 in my training block, 3 weeks out from my solo 5k time trial. I'm not doing a cold water recovery session today, but naturally the water is dead calm, basically no waves at all. A long run yesterday, so today is just going to be a really easy recovery run. I actually felt pretty good when I woke up this morning, but could definitely feel the legs when I started to run. I think I might just get in this run before the storm. You can see over the water, it's nice and blue, and then as we turn more inland, I don't know how well that comes up on the GoPro, but it's looking very dark. I think there's a storm pretty close. I don't do many runs along the beach, but it's actually quite nice. And surprisingly far less congested than the trails. Very easy to keep my distance from other people. It's starting to look inviting out there. Wonder how long before I get out and swim. It's Wednesday. Yesterday's hill session went really well. I extended the hill repeats out to 25 minutes. I think that's about 3, maybe 4 minutes longer than last week. I like to get a little bit of progression each time. Another short, easy recovery run today. The stiffness is definitely building up. I find these recovery runs just help flush out the legs. Tomorrow will be a speed session. I'm looking to do some efforts faster than 5k race pace. And I also want to have some sustained fast efforts just to really practice holding that form. If you're thinking in terms of an athletics track, I'd be looking to do 3 800s faster than 5k race pace with 400 meter recovery, followed by 3 400 meter efforts a little bit faster, again with 400 meter recovery. Because I'll be doing the session on the back roads, my 800s will only be 750 and their recovery will be 450, just to fit in with the way that road works. For me, I think that's quite an optimistic session. We'll see how it goes. I may make a decision on the day just to cut it back a bit. Doesn't hurt to aim high. Cold and wet today. Elaine and I went out on a mountain bike ride just on the bike trails this morning. It was like this. I still haven't done my run. I'm going to have to go out and face it in a minute. Weather was much better yesterday, so I got the speed session in. When I was designing the session, I thought it might be a bit ambitious, but I nailed it. Yesterday's fast, sustained efforts was definitely my best session so far this year. I was able to hit all my target paces and remain consistent throughout. On my right is the speed in minutes per kilometre for each effort and the corresponding 5k time that would represent. So all 3 750 metre efforts were well below my 5k PB pace, and I was still able to find some extra speed for the last 3 400 metre efforts. Faster pace but shorter duration than some of the early efforts in last week's 5k test set, yet on the second and third 750 metre effort I still hit that vomit level. This time I was a couple of beats higher, but still I'm hitting it earlier than I would expect. I ran 3 hours after breakfast. The only problem was I hadn't had any water and 2 cups of coffee. The reason you vomit when running is because your stomach has become too acidic. The primary cause of this is the generation of lactic acid. So once that lactic acid gets to a certain point, it's going to create so much acidity that you feel like you want to vomit. Foods like coffee, alcohol, chocolate, all the good things, they're acidic. So having 2 coffees before my run didn't really help the matter. And not having any water all morning may not have hurt that much with the dehydration on such a short session, but it definitely didn't help. Sometimes I think athletes have an inbuilt form of Alzheimer's. We make the same mistakes every year and have to actually experience them again before we remember, oh yeah, don't do that. But in general, I think my maximum heart rate has come down, probably as a result of a large base training where I ran very easy for 100 days. So ideally now I want to do training that'll push that maximum heart rate up higher. I need to extend that rev range if I want to do a fast 5K time. And unfortunately, that's probably going to mean more fast sustained efforts, just continually pushing in to that vomit level. Something to look forward to. The stupid things I do to keep my continuous running streak going. Although like most things, it's not as bad once you get out here. Pretty rough conditions at the pier. There's even 2 guys that are going to surf back in. Similar weather forecast for tomorrow. That's when I'm doing my long run. I think it's 140 minutes. And as much fun as it is running through the water on my short easy runs, I don't really want to do that on my long run, which is a pity because with the weather like this I get the trails back to myself. But I think the long run tomorrow I'll head out on the bike paths, so just to avoid the big puddles, just get into a nice groove. It's Sunday today, weather's much nicer. Thought I'd finish off the week with a nice easy recovery run along the beach. Been really happy with the week's training, especially the sustained efforts. Total run mileage for the week will be around 54 kilometers or 33.5 miles. Again, low for a pure runner, but I'm quite happy with that. In lockdown, I don't have any particular days I do anything, I just roll over day to day. So last week I only had 3 recovery runs, this week has 4, which is why the volume's down just a touch. I hope you found the video interesting. If you enjoyed it, please hit like and subscribe, it really helps the channel. See ya.